ready? So today I wanted to come to you guys and talk to you a little bit about channeling. And if you've seen my videos before, that you know that's kind of how I got started with everything, was an opening to channeling, and I'd never even heard of that before, but my soul was very, very familiar with it, and that, was, my soul was waiting for that door to open. So it was kind of my tumble down the rabbit hole. 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay. So like I was saying, that channeling was my opening to the rabbit hole door for me to kind of just go on down into my spirituality, which I am still very happily, freely falling down. I always will be learning and falling in this spiritual hole, because that's my favorite hole I've ever fell down, I guess. Anyway, so I knew that channeling was for me, amongst other things, and so I talked to my guides a lot, and one time I was seeing all of these really cool symbols and light language, and if you watch my videos, I'm very into that. And I was asking them about information on that, and so they showed me a triangle, which I was like, wait a second, that's not quite what I had in mind, a triangle. I was thinking of something a little bit more extravagant, but they said I wanted to explain to you the significance of the triangle and what you need to know it as of right now. So the top of the triangle point is God's source energy, or the universe, or whatever it is that you call source. That from there down here to this point would represent myself, or you, whoever is the center of their own little body. So we have God's source. I'm connected to God's source from here, and then over here is the consciousness of something else. Everything else, anything else, and I can connect to that piece, and that piece is also connected to that God source energy at the top. So we have our triangle, this piece, that piece, and that piece, okay? And they explained that that is how we can all be connected. By me connected to God, I am also connected to this energy over here, and that is how I can read energy. That is how I connect to energy and read them. So one day it occurred to me that I should connect to the consciousness of my own chakra system. And I decided at first that I would do it in automatic writing, because that is how I kind of got started talking with spirit and really, working things out. As a matter of fact, I found the very first time I ever channeled automatically, I don't know if you can see this, but I started out writing these meditation tips that I was just, learning about spirituality and how to do this. And then you get down here to number 5. And tip number 5 says, and then in the middle of it, I just kind of start channeling. Anyways, recenter your focus. Your mind will inevitably wander. Is this your spirit guide? Embrace with love and beauty. I love you so much, and all I want is for you to know you are never alone. I have been here all along and will always be until the end. The light of love puts us together. You are so beautiful, and I love you so much. So deep in your heart is where I live forever and always with you. We can always be with one another and speak to one another. You are waking up. You are building a bridge to a higher level of being. Your energy is so bright. I want to celebrate you every single day. Keep trying every single day. We want to learn. We want to bridge a gap with you and us. Your heart is so big. You have so much of it to give, and so many need to listen. It's almost time. Love as hard as you can, and you will feel us. I love you. You are so beautiful, and the lights are coming. Many, many lights are coming to fulfill you. Rise up now and accept the lights that are coming. They are all positive and full of love. You are so beautiful and precious now. Your soul is so bright. You are special, unlike any other. Thank you. This is so real. I am light. So that was not actually what number 5 said to meditate. That was me going into an automatic writing. And so that's what I decided to do with my chakras. I grabbed my pen and I grabbed my paper and I decided to go in, did my breathing exercise, grounded myself, centered myself, and decided to start writing. And I said, okay, my intentions for this automatic writing session, or this channeling session, I think is what I said. My intentions for this channeling session is to connect to the consciousness of my chakras. And then at that moment in time, I visualized my chakras kind of lined up like this. I did record a little bit of this video before, and I realized that I was set up in front of my chakra tapestry and it wasn't planned. Now it's probably not as cool as it was in the first video that messed up, but whatever. Anyway, so all of my chakras kind of lined up in front of me in this visual, and it was I started channeling. I asked for the consciousness, and it was the root chakra that came up first. So I started writing everything down, and then there was so much information coming at me so fast that I was like, okay, I can't write this. So I grabbed my recorder and thought that I recorded my session. All in all, I didn't write it or record it, but I do remember it pretty easily. So my root chakra kind of formed into this massive being, and like the legs of this being was, and this I couldn't tell, you know, this being was just red. Okay, but you could see it was very muscular, big old fat muscular legs. And finally when I get up to the top, it was like kind of like almost devilly looking. And I mean, this entity was mad. Obviously this is my root chakra. Obviously it wasn't happy. And then I was like, okay, so why are you so angry? And it didn't know. Basically, it showed me, then it showed me like these little discs. It looked like plates kind of stacked on top of one another. And it showed me that kind of like this floating around the universe, these plates kind of stacked on top of one another. And each plate represented lifetimes. And the red root chakra showed me all the way down at the bottom of these stacks is where it got real, is where it was all mean. It like it had been like that for so many lifetimes. This mean male type of energy. It just showed me lifetime after lifetime after lifetime being angry and mean. And so I was like, okay, well maybe we just need, I kind of didn't know what to do. And when I saw, I was like, well, why does it look like the devil? Or why do you look like the devil, or some type of devilly type face? And it explained that that's the way it saw itself, was like this devilly, angry type of energy. So instead of trying to figure out what's been going on lifetime after lifetime, I decided to bring in a feminine healing energy. And then the vision of Mother Mary came in, and she started pouring this beautiful white light at the bottom of the stack of plates, and that red light started turning pink a little bit, and it started going up really slowly, plate by plate, or lifetime after lifetime. And up here though, the energy was just, I don't know, not very nice. Like, he was not happy. Like, you can't take my job from me. This is I'm the root chakra. I've always been the root chakra. You can't do it. And she was like, no, we're not taking your job from you. You know, this is just, we're changing and healing what needs to be healed. And he was, you know, it was just on and very angry, not mean as in violent or physically violent or anything like that, but you could just tell this was not, you know, this is my job, don't take it. It was very worried. But by the time that light got up to the very top, the whole demon-esque chakra entity turned into like this angel, this beautiful angel, and it was still a male. And she goes, see, now we're just letting you come back to what you're supposed to do, and now you can do your job properly. And he was no longer mean, he was no longer angry, he was no longer anything. And I was like, okay, so why is the energy still male? I guess I kind of just wanted to know that. And you know, from lifetime after lifetime, so it showed me the stack of plates again. We, as a society, has found our security, or we have looked to maybe a male or patriarchal type of society. And this is, again, in mine, the way I've envisioned, the way I've probably lifetime after lifetime have been conditioned to believe. And anyways, we have rooted our security in to the male, into the patriarchal, like the man makes the money, the man has the house and keeps it for us, and you know, all of those kinds of things. So my root chakra was very, very masculine. And now that there's a healing energy in there, I'm working on adding the feminine, the divine feminine to the masculine, and changing and making a wonderful, wonderful balance. So that was what happened when I channeled. That is something that, believe me, I can't usually come up with stuff like that. When I channel, sometimes I channel as an entity almost kind of takes over, and then sometimes I channel what I see visually, and sometimes they kind of mix together. So today I'm going to go in and channel another one of my chakras for you, live and raw. So here we go. Give me a second to kind of slow my mind down. Give me a second to do a little bit of a connection, and we will jump right in. If it takes too long, I'll probably cut some time off, but other than that, I am just going to jump right in and see what happens. I am in the Sacral Chakra. It almost feels like it's a tunnel, and everything is orange. And it feels like I'm moving, but there's a black dot at the end of the tunnel, but I'm not getting any closer to it. And the faster I go, nothing seems to be happening. I feel a presence. It's loose. It's my guide loose. He's here. And he says to change my perspective. He tells me to breathe. I understand what he's saying now. It's not a tunnel. I'm not even in a tunnel. And the darkness at the end of the tunnel isn't... It's not even a tunnel. That's actually a flaw. Just a smudge or something. So I try to clean it. And I feel a little nervous. I don't like it. It's starting to bother me. I feel like it's giving me anxiety and a lot of shame. And now I'm really clawing at this dot, at this smudge, and I'm really trying to get it off. It's not working, and I'm clawing and I'm clawing, and my fingers are bloody. My guide says to come with him. Lou says come with him, and I do.
And I see Archangel Michael he's pointing the way. It looks like a river, and there's a raft in the river, and he asks me to climb on. I feel very nervous. And we get in this raft, and Michael stands guard up front, and behind me is Luce, and he's in a deep scowl, and he has his arms crossed. Seems a little funny. That's not normal. He's not wanting me to go through this experience. It kind of seems like he's not wanting me to go through this experience. He's nervous for me. Or maybe he's just... We start going down the river, and it seems awful strange. The water is red or orange. It's really foamy, and it's getting... really rough. The rapids are getting really rough. It looks like we're about to enter into a cave, but it's kind of in the distance, and I just feel a little uncomfortable, but my guides, or the angels and the guide, they're telling me it's gonna be okay. Just to breathe. As we get closer, okay, so it's like we're entering a cave, but there is 2 legs opposite the cave, almost as if we're going in between legs. And we are. Here we go. It's dark now, and it's very scary. I feel okay. I feel like the water is getting really rough. And I feel like we're in like, not necessarily waterfalls, but major rapids. But what is interesting is that I'm sitting in the middle of this raft, and I have my arms wrapped around my knees, and I look at Luce, and I look at Michael, and their bodies are barely swaying. They're perfectly balanced with each tilt of the raft. They're so perfectly balanced with this raft and keeping me balanced that I don't feel in any danger of falling off. This is a sexual body healing. Okay. So as I come to this conclusion, it looks as if the water is becoming still, and we're not in rapids anymore, but I feel like we're deep underground in a cave or somewhere And we're just, okay, well, we're coming to a stop. And they pull me to the side and off the raft, and they're pointing in the direction of a doorway. I walk over to the door, and my heart is beating really fast. I go in, and at first everything is dark. It's a little cold. And I hear sniffles. And then I see this light shining down on somebody. And I turn around and notice that Luce and Michael aren't with me anymore, but I feel like it's just that I can't see them. I feel like they're right beside me, but I just don't see them. I get closer, and I realize that the little girl is me. About 10, maybe 10 years old. She's so small. We start walking together through another doorway, and the scenery is changing, and I almost feel like we're in like not a gutter, like a wash, some kind of wash, and there's trees and vines and concrete as well, and there's a tiger, and it's huge, and it is snarling, and it's drooling, and it's mean, and it's freaky. It won't look at me. It is looking at the younger version of me really, really hardcore. It wants her very bad, but it won't even look at me, won't even come near me. So I take her and I put her on my back, and I keep my back away from the tiger and my front towards the tiger, and I stare it down as I walk past it, and he stares me down, but he's not coming after me, but he just wants the little girl. We come up to this huge room in the middle of nowhere, and we go inside, and it's disgusting. There's this ball floating in the air. It's black. It's stringy and gooey and ooze and gross and slimy, and it feels like guts all wrapped up together. It's disgusting. And the younger version of me says that we must unravel it. And I feel that that's the right thing to do. And so we put our hands in it, and it is so gross. It makes me sick a little, a very nauseous feeling. It's difficult and it's very time consuming. I feel we're making progress, but I feel like we've been here for a very, very, very long time. It doesn't even smell very good. We're getting closer to getting it unraveled, and it's kind of like a lot of different pieces. It's like a curtain of guts or a whole bunch of different pieces of string on one big curtain rod or something kind of like that. A little bit. And in the middle of the ball of grossness is like this black piece of thing. I don't know what that is. She says, the little girl says we have to put this curtain of ooze on the tiger. It's like a blanket now, but it's like a real stringy blanket. But she's very afraid, and I have to talk to her, and she's crying, and she doesn't want to go back because she knows the tiger will get her. If I tell her I won't let it out, I tell her I'll save her. And so we go. I feel Luce with us. I feel Michael with us. And we come back up to the tiger, and I'm holding one side and she's holding the other, and the tiger is just about to pounce on her, but we get it. We throw it on the tiger, and as we throw it on the tiger, it kind of, this stuff just like wraps, the strings just wrap all around it, just all over it, and wraps it all up, and just, I don't know, it just kind of shrivels back up into a ball and disappears. It's gone. The younger version of me is so cute. She's jumping up and down, and she's like, yay! We did it! We did it! She's doing like a little dancey thing. We are going back to the room, and we get there, and Luce and Michael are in there, and they are just dancing and singing and laughing, and they're so happy, and just hugging all over us, and proud of her, proud of me. Now they bust out some cleaning supplies, and apparently we have to clean this room up, and it's really gross because there's like blood and guts and ooze and goo and slime everywhere. But it doesn't matter because we're all here together. And it's like it goes really fast. And it's happy. And everybody's just smiling and whistling. And then everything is sparkling clean. Except for the black thing in the floor that was in all the goo. And it's given to me. And Luce gives me a golden rag. No. It's a piece of it's a piece of his clothing. It's golden, and he asks me to clean it. It looks like a seed. It's like this really big seed. It kind of looks like an almond. And it's golden as well. It's to be planted. This is my original sexual body experience. My sexual body experience was experienced in a certain way, and now we are going to plant the seed so that your sexual body experiences will grow the way it was originally planned. Now we're in this field, and it's so beautiful. The sky is like this purpley blue color, and this field that we're in, it's like golden wheat field, just rolling hills of it as far as you can see. It's so beautiful and peaceful. And we plant the seed, and it grows so fast. It grows into this huge tree with these beautiful white and pink flowers all over it. I've never seen anything like it. It's so beautiful, and it makes me want to cry. This is how it's supposed to be. I feel like I'm floating up above my tree, and I'm just kind of floating up higher and higher, and I feel like everything is just swaying in the wind and the breeze, and I see the younger version of me just dancing around. She's dancing in a circle with Michael and Luce. They're singing and dancing, and I'm just floating up above it all. And the higher I go, I see me exiting the portal of my sacral chakra, exiting the consciousness. And I am giving thanks for what happened here today.